Tech and national security dominating the headlines, but America's farmers could be the biggest winners from the Trump-Xi summit.
The White House announcing an agreement for China to buy $17 billion in U.S. agriculture products per year through 2028.
The deal comes on top of billions of new purchases of U.S. soybeans, as a thaw in trade barriers could also spark a boom in U.S. beef exports.
Joining us now, American First Policy Institute Vice Chair of Rural Policy and former Ambassador to UN agencies for food and agriculture, Kip Tom. Well, gosh, that's one heck of a resume. Before we get into this, I think it's important for the viewers and everybody else to understand that the farmers aren't looking for pity or for a handout. What they're looking for is stability and quite frankly, structure. So what does this $17 billion ultimately do for them?
Well, let's start out with this. So we understand when President Trump walked into the Oval Office back in January 2025, he inherited almost a $43 billion trade deficit from President Joe Biden because President Biden didn't do any trade deals. President Trump has been very focused on that, whether it's with Scott Bessent, whether it's with those at the United States Trade Relations Office, Julie Callahan, and Luke Lindbergh over at USDA. They've been out working to make sure we get trade deals. What does it mean for America? I hope we can bring that money back to the United States and invest in value-add manufacturing. Because at the end of the day, when we look at everything we're doing, the U.S., we don't need to be commodity producers. We need to be value-adding, meaning we need to produce pork chops, beef tenderloins, biofuels. There's lots of things we could be doing here at home, creating manufacturing jobs, good-paying jobs for Americans, and investing right here at home in the United States of America.
Kip, this agreement to buy $17 billion in agricultural products, it'll run through, this is every year, through 2028. Does this come to fruition? Does it bear fruit, pun intended?
Well, certainly, it's not been codified into a trade agreement yet, but I believe that President Trump will hold the Chinese accountable for what they promised to us, and if not, we know there's always consequences when somebody doesn't fulfill their end of the bargain. So I hope that the president and his trade team, those in the cabinet, are really paying attention to this and make sure that we look at the metrics and make sure that China is buying what they say they're going to buy.
When we look at the overall production of farmers in this country, I'm trying to get a sense for what $17 billion is as it relates to the overall income that they're generating in a given year. How meaningful is this, and what sectors do you think are going to benefit the most?
Well, it is meaningful. Again, farmers, as you said in the opening comments, we don't want to get a handout from the government. We don't want government subsidies. We want to get our money from the marketplace. And this is where it's time we reinvent ourselves and take this money that we're getting from these commodity sales and invest in value-add production, because the game has changed with Brazil coming on the forefront of trading with China and around the world. They're strict competitors, and we need to take that and hold them accountable. But we can do it here at home in the United States better than anyone else in the world. And the other reason is this. The U.S. innovates. We use science to bring new innovations to the marketplace and produce improved yields, improved productivity, and the goods that our consumers want. I think back in my father's generation and to where I'm at today, we've increased yields on corn, as an example, 8-fold. That's because of U.S. innovation, and we need to make sure we continue to stimulate that to make sure the U.S. farms are strong, our country is food secure, and food is affordable here in the United States and around the world.
Kip, what is the state of the farm economy right now, given longer-term interest rates have been rising dramatically since the start of the Iran war? At the same time, there have been issues with fertilizer coming out of the Middle East. Are they in a vice right now? Or given the rest of the economy, the industrial economy is doing well, how is the farm family? How is the farm business in America right now?
I'm a family farmer. I can talk to that. I see the books. My sons and daughters write the checks. I know what the impact to us is, and I'll say this: our number one item that's really popped up this year is fertilizer expenses. You know, let's face it, a lot of our nitrogen comes out and flows through the Straits of Hormuz. There are solutions. Another issue we have is countervailing duties on those fertilizers, whether it's phosphates out of Russia or phosphates out of Morocco, the foreign resources. We need those products here, and we need to come in at affordable prices and remove some of these tariff duties on these products coming in. So fertilizer is probably number one for us. I've spoke to people involved in animal health care. Some of the products that they're buying, they're coming out of China, they're wanting to bring back to the United States and produce here. They are getting out of line as well. So the farm economy is suffering right now, but I am hopeful under President Trump we're going to continue to grow it through trade deals like this and investing in new innovations and investing in making sure that we add value to the products we produce here with good paying Americans.
Kip, before we let you go, I really think it's important as a business person, when you start to look at how these farmers are being impacted, you included, and you mentioned that things are tough right now, the American consumer is probably scratching their head wondering why it's tough when they look at prices in the grocery store and certain things have gone up. I think it's important for people to understand where the friction and costs are being taken out of the farmers' pockets and, quite frankly, being put in all the other points of the supply chain and where that regulation needs to resolve itself.
Yeah, obviously regulations play a big role in that, but I'll go back to a very simple example. In 1960, when my parents took me out to dinner, or our family of 5, which we did not very often, that plate was 8.5 inches in diameter. It had 900 calories on it. It had a piece of protein, 2 vegetables, a piece of bread, and if we were good that week, we might have got a Coca-Cola. The farmer got 40 cents on the dollar of what was on that plate, and there was only 900 calories. Today, fast forward, 12.5-inch diameter plate, there's 1,900 calories on it, and the farmer gets 14 cents of the dollar. So we have shifted our food production system to where it's really impacting consumers and it's impacting us as farmers.
Kip, Tom, great to see you as always, sir. And
Thank you.
God bless the farmer.
Thank you.